Hi guys, Lindsay here with Storybrook Family Farm. So today I thought I would take you guys along to show you all of my progress from yesterday. Yesterday I started working on procuring more firewood for wintertime. So how our house is going to be heated is actually with a wood burner. We already have the wood burner, we have not put it in yet, but that is how we have chosen to heat our home. When we lived in town, we had always dreamed of the day that we'd be able to be out in the country and heat with wood and just make it so that way we could have our home as warm and as comfortable as we wanted to without having to pay a hefty bill. So this is kind of like a big realization of dreams and dreams coming true this year with us being able to heat our house with wood and us having so much woods here, and there's massive amounts of down trees here that are already seasoned, already ready to go. So just kind of a whole bunch of wonderful blessings all compiled into one big thing. So this here is my wood pile. I just started it yesterday. So it is pretty hefty sized. It's probably 10 foot long. It's just single stacked. I'll show you guys. So it's just a single stack of wood. I did all of this yesterday with my little Ryobi chainsaw. It's got a 12-inch bar, so it can't do anything too much larger than some of the biggest pieces there. I'm gonna walk back to the back area to show you guys where I've been working at. Hopefully the geese and the ducks, they won't create too much of a big disturbance as I'm walking through. They kind of are noisy. We are planning on butchering some of the geese because we don't need as many as we have. So we originally got 7. We have since sold 1. We have 3 other ones listed on Craigslist and such, but so far there's not been any takers on them. So they're probably at some point this week going to end up in freezer camp, because ultimately we are raising the geese for meat. Next year when they start laying eggs, we will use the incubator to hatch out some of their eggs, and we'll probably sell some of the young birds and then also keep some of the birds to raise for ourselves for meat. We have not eaten goose yet. That'll be, once we butcher some of them. But, all right, so I'm back behind the goat pasture area. I don't think I've ever shown this area on camera before, like actually walking back here. But so there's all the goats. They see me. Lucky's on his way. Winston and Fawny and Bonita, Daisy and Rosie are all coming too, just to see what I'm up to back here. So back in this area here, there was trees down over in here. This was all stuff that was big branch just fell down over there. That's kind of interesting. I was thinking that maybe a squirrel was over there running around because there was a bunch of ruckus, but there wasn't any. The sun is like blinding me. So over in here, I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera. It might just look like a desolate wasteland. But over in here was a whole bunch of wood. That's where I started working yesterday, was back in here, because ultimately the property line is over there. I have no idea if on camera if you'll be able to see the pink ribbon of the property line or not. But so we want to be able to bring the goats out further this way to give them a significantly larger pasture area. So here is part of the tree that I was getting those really big logs from. So those will obviously need to be split. I do have, there's a lot of poison ivy back in here, and it's hot out, so I wore shorts and I get poison ivy pretty easily. So I'm trying to walk gingerly without stepping on too much of it and brushing up against it. So there is more small stuff over in here that I can cut up. So like some of this is kind of rotted and not good for burning, but other stuff is actually quite good for burning. The Ryobi chainsaws, they work really, really well. And normally the battery lasts for quite a long time. And here's another small downed log. That one's a little bit more rotted than the other stuff. But those chainsaws, it works really, really well. And normally it can do a ton of wood before the batteries die. But because all of this wood that I've been cutting up, and here's another tree, I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera. So might just look like I'm pointing at grass. If it does, I'm sorry. But so because this wood is already seasoned, because it's been down for, probably a couple of years, it is extremely hard and difficult to cut through. It takes quite a bit of energy and battery power. So yesterday I kept having to go get a different battery and recharging batteries and that sort of a thing. But all in all, it was a really, really positive experience for me. So here is the property marker. I don't know if that was able to be seen or not. When I was trying to show it earlier, I was standing by that tree right there that was leaned down. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 75 feet from the goat area. So we want to be able to expand the goats over further this way into the property line. This is just a nice little meadow area here. And there's obviously the barn. But yesterday when I was cutting up the wood, well, let me backtrack. A couple days ago, when we were taking care of the animals, I had walked out back into the goats area and I could smell mushrooms, like really strongly smell mushrooms, which, is kind of unusual for me to be able to smell something strongly because my whole entire life, I've had a terrible sense of sniff. I'm one of the last persons to smell something. But so I had Tracy come out and I was like, do you smell mushrooms? And she was like, yeah, I do actually. She's like, this is weird. Like, it's really strong. Like, it's almost like right in our faces. So we walked around a little bit and didn't find anything. But so yesterday, while I was cutting up the wood, I happened to look up this way and I noticed this beautiful, beautiful specimen of mushroom. So it is quite large. It is called, of course, now that I'm filming, I'm going to forget the name. White spored sulfur shelf, I think is what it said, the guide. I have one of them little pocket field guide type things. That's better. Thank you, Shade Tree. So I have one of them pocket field guide things that will tell me, that looks really neat. I don't know if that'll show up on camera or not. But there's like rays of light coming down above my head. It's kind of cool. It makes me feel all magical. But so I have one of them little pocket field guide things that are for identifying mushrooms. And so when I went in to change my battery, after I spotted this mushroom, I went and I looked inside of the magazine. I took a picture of it, which ended up on our Facebook page. So I took a picture of it and compared it, contrasted it and everything, and made sure that that's what it was. So this mushroom, it was absolutely phenomenal tasting. So that's also why I'm back out here. I brought my pocket knife, so then that way I can harvest some once I'm done filming. But the mushroom, like, not to be cliche, because everybody says, oh, well, this tastes like chicken or that tastes like chicken. This mushroom actually tasted like KFC. Like, no joke. Like, it tasted like some seriously incredible fried chicken, and, like, we gorged. Me and Tracy, we first, because the guide said that it could cause upset stomach and that sort of a thing, to use caution to sample a small portion of it before you eat it and stuff. So we did, and we waited a couple hours and we didn't have no adverse reactions. So then we kind of pigged out. It's really, really good. Willie did not want to try it. He's not an adventurous eater. We've had to pretty much force him to try different things, and then he, figured out he liked them. But so we figured with the mushroom, if he doesn't want to try it this round, that's perfectly fine. Because that's more for us, and it's quite tasty. So yeah, here is, I'll show you guys our woods area. To gain perspective, I'll spin so that way you guys can see the barn. All right, so there's the barn. So the goat area is over in there. You probably aren't going to be able to see it on camera because Winston is there, but I don't think it's probably pick-upable. But so here's our woods. There is a lot of downed trees clear up on the hill. And then over that way, there is some significantly large trees that are knocked down. They're every bit as large as the stuff that I was cutting up yesterday. So we have, a significant amount of firewood free for the taking here. It just takes us a little bit of effort and a little bit of work. I'm one of those weird and twisted individuals that really enjoys doing yard work. Like, I love to mow the grass and do the different tedious things, the chores that most people hate. Yeah, I absolutely love doing them. And I've found out after getting my chainsaw that I actually really enjoy cutting up wood. So, like, a few weeks ago, I was really, like, in a bummed out mood, and I was like, I really just want to go cut wood, but it was raining, so I couldn't. But yeah, so some stuff like that. It's kind of weird what I like doing. But yeah, so I obviously am not going to be able to cut this log here with my little chainsaw because it's, you know, probably 2 feet in diameter. It's very, very large, so I'll have to use a bigger saw or see if my neighbor can help out with that, or I don't know. I know that Tracy's dad had a larger chainsaw with a much larger bar, but I don't know if either of us are actually strong enough to use it. That's part of the draw towards using the little Ryobi chainsaw, is that it's very, very, very light. Like, it's probably only like maybe 8 pounds with a heavy duty battery on it. So it's nice that I can use it with my weak wrists and stuff and not have to worry about accidentally like cutting my leg off or something ridiculous. But so yeah, there is a lot of abundance out here, and we just, like, with finding this mushroom yesterday, like, it just really felt like a super huge blessing to be able to have been planted in a place that is also actively providing for us. You know, not only is there a lot of wood for us to take advantage of here to build different things and everything, but you know, there's already a really vibrant ecosystem that is already here that is actively trying to provide for us, and it just makes me feel so good inside to have been planted here, because it's better than what we could have ever dreamed up for ourselves and have ever hoped for, and we're really glad that, you know, the cards and the chips fell the way that they did, for us to be able to be here. But anyways, I'm gonna harvest me some mushroom so that way we can have lunch later with this shroom, and you know, hopefully it still doesn't mess up our tummies. You know, we didn't have any tummy aches or nausea or anything of the sort like that from eating it, and that was what the pamphlet had warned, that some people are sensitive to the mushroom. I have a really ridiculously good stomach for eating things that most people get sick from. I usually can handle them. I assume that it's due to, you know, my grandpa used to eat anything, and my dad can kind of eat anything, both on different sides of the family. So I'm assuming that it probably is something that has been passed down to me to be able to have really good gut flora to, you know, not get sick. So yeah, that's it for today. If you guys are enjoying this content, please give our videos a thumbs up, share it with your friends on social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to help us grow. We greatly appreciate everybody that's been encouraging us along the way to keep going. It's very difficult to also remember to film what we're doing instead of just drudging through it and getting through some of the difficult things. But yeah, I'm actively working on trying to produce more content and stuff to, you know, bring more people along. But anyways, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.